Because they're the people that they know their children. They know their families. They're the people that have been oppressed for that long. And these are the people we need to give help to. Dua and also physical help. Also popularize their conflict. Which is the way that we as people here in Glasgow, because the conflict for us is distant. If we don't hear about it and see about it in the news or hear about it in the minbar, we'll never care about the fact there's a conflict going on there. But for those people, they have their own trials and tribulations. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them victory by the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why Imam Al-Awzai rahimahullah ta'ala warda, when he was the greatest muhaddith of his time in the Levant, in Beirut and in Damascus, he was in Damascus at the time that the Abbasids overthrew the Umayyads. And he came in to the city and he realized that the Abbasids were slaughtering over 30,000 people. Imam al-Dhahabi says over 30,000 people were slaughtered by Muslims. The Abbasid government slaughtered the majority of the civilian population in Damascus. And they were looking to see if anyone stood in opposition to them. And nobody stood in opposition to them. Even the scholars, they bowed their heads in obedience. Apart from Imam Al-Awza'i radiyallahu anhu. And Al-Abbas, the person who was sent by the Abbasids, he asked, is there anybody in opposition to me? And everybody said, there's nobody, everyone's here. Sam'an wa ta'a. We're all servants to you, except one person, Al-Awza'i. And he sent his choicest soldiers to him to bring him to his feet. And when Al-Awza'i heard the knock on the door, he knew what was happening. He knew that the army had come for him to plead obedience and plead forgiveness to the general. And he left, but he performed ghusl. And he wore white clothes, because he had prepared himself for death. As he's walking out of his door, he's saying, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil, ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. When people said to other Muslims that the people have gathered against you, and fear those people, what did they say? Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. That God is enough as a protector for us. Imam Al-Awza'i used the same dhikr as he's walking towards the Umayyad mosque, waiting for his death. And he comes in front of the leader, the ruler, and stands tall and proud. As scholars should stand tall and proud in front of rulers. And he stood there and he waited for the Khalifa or the general to do something to him. And the general started to shake in his presence. He took a stick and he tried to hit him with it. And he couldn't find his hand, he couldn't find the power to hit Al-Awza'i. And the soldiers around him are being amazed by this situation where the general who's killed so many people is now unable to do anything. And Imam Al-Awza'i is saying, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. And after a period of time, the general realizes he can't defeat this person. And he tells him to go. And he gives him some money, and Awza'i throws the money in his face. And he walks to his house saying, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. And this is what the people of faith have in their hearts. Even if you kill their bodies, their hearts are alive. Even if you kill their bodies, their souls are alive.